the American dream is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back bigger and better and stronger than ever before, and we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
2016, year of the snake. It's time for a change in the White House, y'all. Liberty. Bring it. If you want the real deal,
how you doing, folks? This is Suzzanne. We're here. Just wait for folks to come on into the room. Click the share button. Welcome to the show. We got good news to talk about tonight. I'm excited. Good to see y'all.
If you want to feel safe in your own backyard, one choice. You gotta play your trump card. I say Trump, you say hell high.
So click the share button. Welcome to the show. We're just waiting for everybody to pop on in.
Make America great again. Make America great again. Make America great again.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going? I know, right? Yes, Kevin, I'm glad. Trying to get a little promotional word out there, you know. Let people know. So thank you for noticing. Junior, how's it going? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Great day today, you guys. Great day. Nick, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. There's my monkey, Rebecca. You know what? Rebecca, we're gonna win no matter what happens. No matter what happens. I'm just glad people are hearing it. My good friend Scott News, founder of the group All In for Trump. Lots of people in the group right now. It's a great group. Scott News runs it. He's a Virginian patriot, big Trump supporter. He saw it on RSPN too. Message me. I heard your name is President Nutcracker. It's working. We'll see. We got to keep getting the word out there. We got to get the word out about President Nutcracker and this new website. The Democrats are nuts because the Democrats keep being nuts.
Are you a real patriot of the USA?
We're going to be all at CPAC. Very excited. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Looking forward.
Protect your family.
It's going to be a great event with Dr. Alvita King. How's it going, Cindy?
Have jobs available too.
I'm going to be out on the 6th.
You know who we need?
It's conservative winter in Washington, D.C. Y'all don't know. It's super busy. While you all are enjoying snow and staying in, conservatives here in D.C., we're busy. March for Life. We had the Second Amendment rally. Virginia, I always seem to put out a fire in Virginia. Because Virginia. I know, Kevin, it's hard. It's hard. Those bills, for some reason, just don't I leave them out with little tiny clothes, you know, little shoes like the elf maker, like the little shoemaker. I leave out the bows next to the clothes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. You are watching the one and only Trump Talk US live in D.C.
My campaign team is bringing me an updated list of my supporters. I hope I'll see your name on the list.
Love you, President Trump. We love you, President Trump. That is President Trump adding advertisements to pro-Trump videos on YouTube. Do it, President Trump. Do it. Good stuff. Welcome to the show. Of course, I want to welcome Chris McDonald, our Monkin in the room. He is sharing links that are relevant to the show. He is here in Facebook land. He is sharing links, greeting patriots, and always supporting the show. We appreciate him so much. I want to, of course, give a shout out to our sponsor, sendmeg.com. If you're in New England, New York, Ohio, Ontario, you have any delivery needs, if you have an oversized load you need an assisted driver with, and basically anything medical, special deliveries, all kinds of stuff. Sendmeg.com. We appreciate her supporting the show, as well as our good friend, of course, President Nutcracker and his new site, thedemocratsarenuts.com. That is his new news site. You can, of course, order your President Nutcracker at presidentnutcracker.com, but he has a new news site, so go read it. It is half satire, half real. It's fun. It's fun stuff. You'll like it. That is Laser Snake. The opening song was Make America Great Again by the band Laser Snake. Sharon, good to see you. Good to see you. Marita, how's it going? All right. Let's talk about the news. Just 8 minutes away. I didn't even say 8 minutes away from my house is the Capitol building. Right over there. Right over there. That's where they just... but a few moments ago, but a little bit over an hour ago, voted. Oh, great. Fred Schneider, welcome. Fred Schneider, everybody. Such a great supporter of Trump Talk US, and he does a lot of posting and sharing on my page as an admin of the page. And between him and Chris, I don't know what I would do. I know I would, there'd be like 4 people who listen to me if I didn't have these guys, so I love them so much. So yes. Pamela, how's it going? Dennis, so they voted. The Senate voted for 51 to 49. Okay. No new witnesses. Now, as we talked about on this show, it wouldn't matter if no matter what they were going to do, if they were going to just immediately dismiss, fine. Trump wins. If they're going to not call witnesses and then vote for an acquittal, which looks like the choice they're making, fine, win. If they were going to vote for witnesses, fine, win. Then we're going to call Hunter Biden. Then we're going to call Joe Biden. Then we're going to call all of them. I love how they're like, we wanted Bolton to speak. And I was like, yeah, let's let him speak. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. We were going to win no matter what. So, but the Republicans did not want. This is really what it's about. The Republicans do not want to go through that. They know that the mud that would come up on the Democrats if we went through all the witnesses, if we dragged the entire Burisma case with Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, on the board, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden being recently named in these criminal proceedings going on in the Ukraine, being recently named. Yeah, exactly, Marita. That's why they voted no witnesses. That is correct. So everyone except Susan Collins and, of course, Mitt Romney. I don't even know why Mitt Romney pretends to be, how's it going, Lenny? Pretends to be a Republican anymore. He should literally just admit he is a Democrat and give up. Because even his other rhino, deep state, globalist friends have at least figured out how to pretend. We need to be careful about this in 2024, you guys, but seriously. They at least have figured out how to pretend to be on board. Mitt? No. And from Utah? Really? This is what you're... Anyway, you got to work out your stuff, Utah. You got to work out your stuff, okay? Now, Marita, here's what's going to happen with Joe Biden and with the Hunter Biden situation. The Burisma case is still going on. See, what the Democrats are mad about, they didn't just pick this Ukrainian, how's it go, Jana? They didn't just pick this Ukrainian story out of their backsides and said, you know what, let's deal with the Ukrainian situation. No, the Ukrainian situation was actually an emerging problem for the Democrats because of the investigation going on in the Ukraine. Okay, criminal investigation. Burisma is being investigated, being criminally tried. Members of the staff, the CEO, okay, for fraud. All of this is actually going on. That is currently unfolding. There are current developments within this last week or two in the Burisma case involving bringing Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's name into the legal proceedings. So, exactly. Rudy, 100%. They love to talk to Rudy. Is crazy. Like, oh, Rudy doesn't know what he's talking about. Dude, totally knows. Totally knows. So all of this was percolating. It is continuing to percolate. What the Democrats were trying to do with this big hustle is to take something that was already going to blow up in their face and use it and taint it so that when it did blow up in their face, they could say it's just partisan politics. It's just partisan politics. And that's the excuse they're going to try to make. Now, it's going to suck because here's what happened. They didn't get the vote for new witnesses. So the trial, it's going to be like maybe 3 more days. Okay. Hey, Sherry, how's it going? It's going to be maybe 3 more days. They're going to vote to acquit by Monday. I'm excited about that, actually, because I think Brexit is really the big news of the day, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But, so we're not at the acquittal stage yet. That is an additional vote. This vote, 51-49. Susan Collins from Maine, obviously. Another one. Mitt Romney voted with the Democrats. With the Republicans, everybody was so proud of Lisa Murkowski. Now, as some of you might know, my husband and I were Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus at the Interior Department party this year. It was such a great honor to be able to play this role. And we had our picture taken with Lisa Murkowski. She was very adamant that we take her picture. So she might have felt a little Santa guilt. I'm just saying. I don't know if that was the thing that tipped it over. But maybe your girl may have helped just a little. I don't know. I'm not saying either way. Yes, Cindy. Cindy says, let's talk about this for a second. Pelosi said she would resign if the impeachment articles weren't passed in the House, and if they acquitted, she would resign. But I don't think she's going to resign. How much do you want to bet? I think we should no one in this room is going to bet, though. This is the problem. See, this is the problem with this is why you should have a few Democrat friends, okay? Because if you don't have a few Democrat friends, you can never make any good bets. Because they always, all of your friends, we all know, she's not going to resign. We know. We know these lying, faking Democrats, liberals, they're all, how's it going, Christina? They're all going to move to Canada. They're all going to move never to Mexico, always to Canada. They're all going to move. They didn't move. They're going to resign. If they don't win, they don't resign. But see, all of our people are awake, and we know these. We know this. So you can't make any money on bets. This is why we need a few you need a few liberal friends, a few bearable but still well-moneyed liberal friends, so that you have somebody to make a little money. We should harass her on Twitter. Cindy Collins says, I will harass Pelosi on Twitter. No, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. Here we go. Mary Jo, how's it going? Good to see you. I will harass Pelosi on Twitter. Cindy, I'm a little nervous. Did you see Pelosi in her recent picture? Did you see Pelosi in her recent picture with her aide basically carrying her totally drunk butt she couldn't master the curb down? She looked a little Hillary Clinton like. I do say so myself. So maybe not harass her, but we could just send her pictures. I feel like maybe we should send her get well cards. Oh, we're sorry for your loss. Oh my God, we should really send her we're sorry for your loss cards. That's actually really funny. I think that might tip her over the edge, Cindy. I think if we all sent Nancy Pelosi so sorry for your loss cards. All right. I'm gonna mull on that. I know, right, Sherry? I'm gonna mull on that. So Sherry is mentioning something really there's Sherry, yes, great. In April. Yes, awesome. Okay, so she might be Cindy. Cindy says that she might be on cocaine. Nancy Pelosi might be on cocaine. I don't know. It's very ubiquitous here in DC. I would tell you that. It's certainly not hard to get, especially up here, Nancy Pelosi. So yeah, she needs help. She needs help 100%. So what's going to happen? The Democrats are going to continue to freak out. They're already beginning the process to try to call the acquittal that has not happened yet because the vote is not happening. See, this is just the vote on how to proceed forward. They have decided to proceed forward by calling no witnesses at all. No witnesses. The House's articles have to stand on their own merit, which, since they suck and everybody said they suck, not going to stand on their own merit. But that vote has not yet taken place. Now, the vote itself, whether or not to pass the articles of impeachment would have to be a 2/3 vote. So it's not even a worry at this point. We have more than enough votes to acquit. They would need 2/3 of the senators voting to convict the president of these articles, which is not in any way going to happen. Not in any way going to happen. Now, that is going to set the Democrats off on a crazy. They're going to go nuts. They're going to lose. You think they've lost their minds today? It's already on social media. It literally, as we speak, your liberal friends are sad, are grief-stricken, posting on social media. They're freaking out. They're sad losses. Oh, they're freaking out already. When the vote is finalized and it's the acquittal Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. They already had a day of rage or something planned up in New York. Antifa had a day of rage. They're in Times Square. They're protesting against police being present and existing. That's something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but they did threaten, and I don't know if they really lived up to their threats, but Antifa did call for violence throughout New York, disobedience, uncivil disobedience, basically, that they called for across New York City on the 31st, because, screw America, I guess. I don't know. They're mad. They're going to be more mad. The idea is obviously just to intimidate people, which leads to my second story I want to talk about, which is this situation that happened down in Mar-a-Lago. Now, there is this opera singer. I can't make this up, you guys. I wish I was making this up. I wish I was just sitting here in front of the computer and going, it would be really funny. What if a crazed opera singer came out of Mar-a-Lago, was dancing on her Jeep in front of Mar-a-Lago, and when the officers were called because she's literally standing on top of her Jeep, dancing some crazy dance, the officer comes, I'm going to put that up in a second, Sharon, and says, hey, ma'am, what's going on? She gets in the vehicle. She's like, no, I'm not. And she tries to drive away. And the officer's like, you can't drive away. And he smashes the window, tries to get her thick. She's driving through the checkpoint. They have to fire shots. You think, wow, that's a great story. It's a great story you wrote, Suzzanne. I didn't write the story. Reality wrote the story. That's what really happened. Sharon K, thank you. I want to post this. Sharon says they were in the subways this morning. Yes, the left was in the subways this morning blocking travel. The MTA, I believe that the MTA should be free for everyone. This is one of their things. Yeah. So that's what's going on in New York. Now, notice they didn't do that here in DC. Will they do it other places? Yes. Will Portland follow it? Probably. Who knows? As they go forward over the next several days, they are mad. They're going to do some stupid things. Be on the look. See something, say something, be on the lookout, be aware. But don't be panicky because they're idiots, obviously. And if you live in New York, be aware. But, frankly, you live in New York. So crazy people doing weird stuff on the subway that makes it hard for you to get home. What do you call that? Wednesday? Happens all the time. So, but be extra careful. Obviously, the left is very dangerous, can be very dangerous. You certainly don't want to confront them in a violent way. You don't yell. You don't want to get in their face. I know it's very tempting because they're stupid and they say really stupid things. And they're trying to destroy your country and it's really hard to, but we don't want to get in their face in a negative way and have them follow you home and key your car or break your window or dox your family. And then everybody's paranoid because the left knows all this stuff about you. We don't want that. We want to avoid that. Okay. The left is in fact crazy. Look at the situation down in Mar-a-Lago with this woman who tried to drive through 2 checkpoints after the cops asked her to stop, and she wouldn't stop. So they had to fire shots at her. Her and her friend got arrested. Cuckoo. Unnecessarily cuckoo. Now, what we're finding out about her social media, she was a Trump supporter. She wasn't a Trump supporter. She was a Trump hater. She hated Trump. She didn't like Trump. She said negative things on her social media about Trump, but she wasn't crazy like, leftist Antifa girl. She was an opera singer, for crying out loud. She went around. But this is the thing. The media has created such a false sense of hatred against our president. They've created, Michelle, how's it going? They've created such a false sense of outrage at a small group of people. And the arts is so indicative of this, and it's why I really appreciate people like my friend Andre Soriano. Proud to say my friend Andre Soriano. I really appreciate the folks, Ricky Rebel, Joy Villa with their Grammy dresses. I really appreciate Tim Allen. I really appreciate Chuck Woolery. I really appreciate James Woods. I really appreciate some of these folks who come out and are really bold. Obviously, Roseanne Barr, top of the list, appreciate so much. These folks in entertainment love the Hot Twins, love Terrence, love our entertainers who are pushing back on a very deep leftist culture. Y'all think you have leftists where you are, and I live in a blue city, but still, entertainment so much more. California, Hollywood, so ridiculous with their leftist agenda and the control they try to have because you do not agree with them. And these are folks who have taken a great risk, and I'm really, just proud of them. Just proud of each and every one of our patriots who are out there standing up for our president. Loretta, how's it going? And making a difference. So, because the left is literally insane, and this hatred and anger is everywhere, and you see it with the situation. Nobody was hurt in the Mar-a-Lago situation. The president was not ever at risk. Literally what they're thinking, this woman was just crazy or partying too hard. I think she went to go and do a viral video. She wanted to go and do a video. This is my suspicion. If you go up to Mar-a-Lago and you're not trying to go in, it's a venue, you can just go in. I can just go into Trump International. Anyways can go into these places. We can just go there. So you would just go in and have a nice time, take pictures like, oh, I'm here. I hate Trump, whatever. But you're dancing on your Jeep. Obviously, that's all right, Michelle. Obviously, you have something else in mind. Probably you're there to do some ridiculous video you're making for your friends. And then you snapped. And you freak out because you've been told the cops are awful and they're going to get you. I suspect she's got literal serious TDS, which is why I'm concerned. Trump derangement syndrome. It is genuinely real. It has genuine stages. People actually get it. And at some point, they are a risk to themselves or others. 100%. 100%. Cindy, I know. Cindy says this, I have heard crickets from libs since such a great embarrassment by the House managers. They aren't even insulting Trump right now. Cindy, you're lucky. I have a lot of whiny liberals right now. They literally feel that they've been robbed by the Senate. How dare the Senate not do their jobs? And they praise Mitt Romney and Susan Collins. Hilarious. That's how you know that they've lost their damn minds. But the news was very difficult. I had to dig for the news about the hearing and the vote. You would think such a historic thing after all of this preaching, after all of this blah, 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 drip, drip, drip. It's so important. Impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. The drum banging of the Democrats. You would think the media channels would be on it in a heartbeat. No, for some reason, Google was not that interested in the outcome of this vote. Google, I don't know why you would be, I don't know why you wouldn't be super excited that the vote happened and you could share the news with everybody. So, yeah. You know what other news Google wasn't really excited to share about? And it was really unfortunate because it is some of the most exciting news. Brexit has finally happened, you guys. OMG, OMG. I'm so happy. I really wish I had a little British flag right here. I literally wish. I should have printed one out, but I don't have one because I'm an American. Frankly, the British flag, it kind of ticks me off a little bit. You know what, with that War of 1812 burning the Capitol. Anyway, long story short, I don't have a British flag, but today I would wave it in honor of Brexit, of our fellow nationalists, our fellow national sovereigntists over in Britain, fighting for their own liberty, for their own national sovereignty, and for their extrication from the EU debacle. Today is the day. Today is the day. So good. Let's take a minute because we do have a visitor from Vote for Bernie on our YouTube live. And he has a question, and I'd like to answer this question because this is a question a lot of liberals have been asking. And so we're going to put this up. Nope, sorry, Cindy. Sorry, Cindy. It moved past. It moved past. Here we go. Here we go. Vote for Bernie. I love how you don't bother to use your name, but that's all right. We won't put you in a gulag over it or anything, so don't worry about it. We're cool here. We're not gulaggy or anything like that. But his question is, if the president doesn't need witnesses at his trial, why should I have witnesses at my trial? Vote for Bernie. We actually wanted witnesses. We wanted witnesses. The problem was not that the House. The problem was that that Trump didn't want witnesses. We want to know where's Hunter. We would love to actually talk to Joe Biden. We'd love to talk to the whistleblower. We'd love to talk to a variety of people involved with this situation. We'd love to bring over Ukrainian officials so you guys could hear the real story about how Joe Biden and his son are involved in a criminal operation that is now Burisma, the company Burisma, that is under investigation for fraud and money laundering. Perhaps to you American officials, of which Hunter Biden would be. So we would have loved witnesses, but unfortunately, here's the situation. You guys in the left, you let the Democrats go through the whole House process. They called 17 witnesses. They allowed the president to call no witnesses, any Republican witnesses at all. They controlled the process entirely. So when you had the chance to have witnesses, we wanted witnesses. We wanted witnesses. But when you had the chance to have witnesses, you were like, oh, but only witnesses on our side. So why at your trial, if the state, okay, if the prosecutor was only allowed to call witnesses against you, would you want to call witnesses? Would you be like, yeah, let's have witnesses. Let's let the state only call witnesses against me because I shouldn't be able to call any witnesses in defense of my position. Right. And that's the rule the Democrats wanted to set up in the House, in the Senate. The Senate, that's the rule they had in the House. That's the rule they wanted to impose upon the Senate. The Senate said no. The more the Democrats pushed for this ridiculous rule, the more they lost. Even their moderate Republican friends like Lisa Murkowski, who said, you guys are crazy. You're ill-prepared. You didn't do your job in the House. You should have taken care of this process then. It's obviously a partisan attack and nothing more. We should not waste our time with it anymore. So the president would love to have witnesses. They would have loved to have witnesses in the House hearing. He would have loved to have witnesses in this trial. Unfortunately, the Democrats do not want to allow equal witnesses. They only want to have the witnesses that speak against the president and not the ones for it. So that's why. But I'm, you know what? Frankly, vote for Bernie. I'm with you. I wanted witnesses. Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? Where is Hunter Biden? Let's talk to Hunter Biden. Are the Bidens not at the center of this entire impeachment Ukrainian call? The whole idea the Democrats have is that the president of the United States pressured the Ukrainian prime minister to investigate Joe Biden. Now, what actually happened? Joe Biden, while in office, actually withheld government aid to the Ukraine to pressure them to stop investigating his son. That's what actually happened. Love to call witnesses. Sorry, we're not going to do it that way. But Joe Biden and his son are still in a whole bunch of trouble because the Burisma investigation continues in the Ukraine. So the thing that they wanted to avoid the whole time they're trying to say, oh, this investigation, it's all quid pro quo, blah, blah, blah. That investigation actually has continued because, unfortunately for the Democrats, the new leader of the Ukraine actually was voted into office to get rid of the corruption. So he's reading this out. So the investigation continued. I'm kind of sad we're not calling witnesses, to be honest. All right. So let's go back to talking about Brexit. Now that we've removed, it's like a really fun. Sometimes when the Bernie folks come in, you have to re-educate them now because, you don't want to gulag them. You don't want to, but it's like you want to have it fun. You want like a fun gulag. It's like a re-education, but you're by choice. It's everything opposite of the gulag. You actually just get to tune in and listen and actually maybe get an education. Would help. It would help. Yes, let's put this up, Chris. Let's do it. I want to read this. It says, Chris says, my Romanian friend just posted this. 1, in London, Brexit is done. 2, Washington, Democrats lose the Senate vote. And 3, in Kiev, the former prosecutor of Ukraine files official complaint against Biden for abuse of power and corruption. You guys, what I tell you. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. That is a great quote, great bit of information. So the Bidens are it's still all coming down. This is why I love this. This is why when the Q folks, when some of us patriots, we follow all this stuff, we say, look, enjoy the show. What is coming cannot be stopped. And we say it. And you go, okay, when's it happening? Why are there not orange jumpsuits yet? Everyone's so impatient. But we keep saying it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And it's a process. It takes time. But now it's actually we're in the foothills of the good part, you guys. We're now, if you like read some of Tolkien's work, there's a whole bunch of it that's kind of like blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, oh, wow, now we're in the hills of Mordor and we're in the caves. This is a much more exciting part of the book. We're there. We're not at the part where he's going to throw the ring. My precious, we're not quite there, but we're getting there. So it's more exciting now. It's more exciting. The storyline is going to pick up, people. I promise. Cindy says Lindsey Graham wants to be the one to take the Bidens down. I think Lindsey has some skeletons in the closet he has to redeem. His relationship with John McCain. I know the name we're not supposed to say because everybody doesn't like him. Yeah, there were some problems. There were some problems with our Lindsey Graham over there, but yet he stood up for the president several times. So we'll see. But we're very excited to see Britain is out. Nigel Farage did a great speech with the British flags exiting the EU. They got mad. They cut off his mic. They didn't like him waving the little flag. They didn't like his snarky little attitude, I guess. That's fine. No one cares. Hello, Anita. How's it going? This is not going to change a lot of things for British folks. It will change the British needing to have direct trade deals. They obviously will not be engaged in the EU Parliament or any of those activities. The EU court will still be applying for cases that are in the works. Those will still be in going forward, and that court will still have jurisdiction. There'll still be travel. There'll still be job exchange. People can still go across borders to work. They will still be able to go across borders to travel. None of that is going to change. They are going to be releasing Brexit coins. Some of the Remainers, this is how sad. Some of the Remainers are literally like, we might not accept the coins. So you're not going to take money because you're so mad your country decided to be a nation again instead of part of the new world order of the Fourth Reich, basically. Germany won't extradite their prisoners. That's another change that will happen. Germany does not have an extradition treaty with any country that is not in the EU. So, frankly, that would mean Germany doesn't have an extradition treaty with us, although we do have that nice military base over there. I think it would be interesting to see Germany try to play that card with us. We're going to see. We're going to see going forward. Certainly, this begins the change of power in Europe. We are going to see future states, European nations leaving the EU. This is not going to be the first exit. This is but one of many. The EU is crumbling economically. It's a really dumb idea. It literally was Germany trying to figure out a way to accomplish what they could not accomplish in 2 world wars, which is to take over Europe and to control it economically. They were succeeding. And they succeeded in driving it into the ground because that's what collectivist ideas, that's what this nanny state mentality, taking away people's freedoms to take care of them cradle to grave, it doesn't work. It does not work. All right. So as I promised you guys, we spoke with Diane Ventura. As you know, we showed that, not the last show, but the show before. Great interview with her about the Trump towel. As you see in our studio all the time. Big fan of the Trump towel. It's a great organization. They are, of course, supporting the president, going around to rallies and events, just like the Philadelphia rally towel, the terrible towel. It's a great rally towel. It's a great way to show your spirit. You can take it anywhere. Photo opportunities. It's a great way to do all those things. We talked about that in our last interview. We also didn't get a chance to get to the part about Roger Stone. As you know, Roger Stone, convicted by a court here in DC, by the court here in DC for, I couldn't even really tell you. I sat in the trial. I literally sat in the trial listening to the closing arguments. I can really tell you. I cannot really tell you what in heaven's name they think Roger Stone did wrong. I don't know. But they convicted him of it. And obviously, we are now working very hard to encourage our president to pardon Roger Stone. All hope is not lost. Obviously, we saw the same thing with the General Michael Flynn case. There are great developments in the General Michael Flynn case. He is fighting back. They are having to rescind some of the attacks against him. He certainly has some good leverage because of where the government, the government tried to push him too far, and he just, nope, I'm going to fight back. And so we see some good things happening there as well. We're going to continue to push and encourage to support Roger's defense fund and to support the Pardon Roger Stone petition. And I want to show the interview with Diane. Let's share the screen. I'm going to pop over here. I want to show the remaining part of our interview so that you can see that here. We're just going to push play over here.
Being registered and voting is so important. But treating others with love and kindness and showing love and kindness to others is what as a nation is what we really need to do. And that's a whole nother show.
Well, and I'm going to use that to talk a little bit about what's happening to, I am honored to say, my friend, Roger Stone, and I know you have known Roger and are very close with him as well.
I love Roger. He has been a personal friend. And this is personal to me. This isn't an attack.
Well, and that's exactly how I wanted to talk about that. Our government got broken, and it became a mechanism by which it attacks its citizens for following the law, for being for just living their life. They attack them on the First Amendment. They attack them because they support a president. They attack them because of political engagement. And we have the government machine who has basically, because they hate Trump, done everything they can to destroy this man's life, Roger Stone, merely for standing up against them and refusing to cave to their pressure, to their agenda, to make him turn against his president. He has not. He's lost so much money, so much life, so much of his time, and may very well lose his freedom standing up for our president, which is why we have been focused very much. I know, Diane, you have been pushing this out, and many of us as well. We've been signing petitions. We've been working together to convince our president, as you know, he listens, to convince our president to pardon Roger Stone, and we're going to keep pushing that forward. So, Dan, you have this big, beautiful banner ready. Can you tell me what you've done with this banner, and where is this banner going to be next?
The banner will be traveling back to Pittsburgh with me today.
Well,
dropping. We're Roger Stone dropping. You know what we want to do, women, and what we want to do is keep America great.
Yes.
The only crime, well, in this instance, you know, I love you, Roger. The crime that Roger has committed right now, that no coincidence in this, I'm thinking of this now. It's been 1 year today that I got a text message at 3 a.m. of what we thought was going to be happening. And for 1 year now, we are lifting Roger in prayer because we know what he is being found guilty on, what they're saying he is guilty of is doing nothing but standing up for our president, our faith, our flag, and our freedom. And this can happen to any one of us.
Any one of us could be Roger Stone. The reason we're not Roger Stone is because it's not such a victory for the left to take you or me down. Well, maybe a little more me than you, but you know, each one of us is in the. But Roger's a big fish. Roger's a big fish, and it's a stain on Trump, and that's what they're trying to do. And so they go after Roger because it goes after Trump. But if they're going after Trump, they're going after us.
Well, Roger has been a conservative. He has been for the movement of the American experiment since he was in elementary school. The stories of him being active in so many things are amazing, and I wish America could know that. But since even before the Nixon years, he has been such a proud supporter of being an American, and for standing up for the truth and for speaking the truth. And the thing that he is being accused of is nothing but never wavering, supporting this candidate, the president number 45 that is in office today. That is what he is guilty of, because he would never waver, he would never sell himself out, and he speaks the truth with supporting President Trump. That's what he's guilty of. So here's the thing: if we don't support freedom, if we don't support the right to bear arms and the First Amendment, freedom of speech, they're coming after every single one of us. And
now, let me ask you: do you think you have the media credibility to fight back against that? Do you have the resources it's going to take to fight the federal government? Or Roger doesn't even have that, and he's using every bit of his his media capital to fight back. You and I aren't going to have that same resources. So if they can take down a Roger Stone, who can't they take down? And that's why standing for Roger Stone is standing for Trump. And it's standing for yourself. It's standing for your right to the Constitution. It's standing for your right to due process. It's standing for your right to not be slandered in court, to be allowed to speak your mind without fearing the government is going to come in and try to take your home and try to destroy your life, because they did the same thing to General Flynn. Whether they win the case against Roger Stone or not is irrelevant to them if they can break him. And they're doing the same thing to General Flynn. He's had to sell his house, General Flynn has. This is what they're doing. They're going to continue to try to drag us through these processes that we can't afford and bankrupt many of our great voices. And we have to stand up and fight back. And one of the things, we talk about pardoning Roger Stone, but there is also a Roger Stone Defense Fund. If you have a few extra dollars, please contribute to the Roger Stone Defense Fund. He has spent so much of his own money, time, capital. We need to be supporting and helping our patriots who are standing on the front lines, risking their future freedom, risking imprisonment to support our president. $5, you don't get a latte at Starbucks that day, so worth it. So please donate to Roger Stone's Legal Defense Fund. Share the Pardon Roger Stone hashtag.
Suzzanne, if you could, and we'll put it underneath this link. We had a goal of 35,000 signatures. Now we're 800 signatures away. I'm going to post a link to the Pardon Roger Stone campaign that we have going on.
Yes.
Some of our boys, our brothers who speak out and support freedom that we love, and we are so thankful for you boys. You make us proud.
Yeah. PYOB. PY Just saying. I'm proud of all of you guys.
And we do. We love you. We support you.
Well, and I want to specifically call out and just give out a shout out and a thanks to Enrico Tario, who is running for Congress down in Florida. But he has been a tireless voice for Roger Stone, and I was able to sit with him
during the Roger Stone trials here in Washington, D.C. And one, brilliant man, brilliant patriot, but also somebody who is very loyal to our country, very loyal to our patriots. And frankly, I think he'd make a great congressman. So if you're in Florida, please check out Enrique Tarrio for Congress, and follow him because you're
Post
going to get.
that link underneath this feed as well.
I will.
We need to support Enrico.
I will.
He's amazing.
100%. He's amazing.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. Here's, you know my passion for the border. My goodness.
Yes.
This is the same example. And what I have said with the border since I got involved with protecting and bringing awareness to the need to protect our border as an American is, if we don't speak out for our friends and family and American brothers and sisters on that line from El Paso to McAllen, and I've been in a vehicle that I've traveled that entire border. If we don't protect that border, those amazing, amazing Texans will not be there to protect our borders. If we don't protect Roger Stone, right, who was speaking out for freedoms that I wasn't even aware that I was going to be born into in this nation, we must support.
Yeah, and the same thing, if we don't support pro-Trump candidates and MAGA candidates running for office, we're not going to get Congress back, or we're going to get a bunch of rhinos in Congress, and that's not going to end the impeachment. And certainly it's one of the things we're concerned about in the Senate. Do all of these Republicans really have our back? Well, how you know that? Get involved and elect Republicans who have your back.
Things I like about Live, we weren't even talking about Roger. We're talking about the town CPAC.
So let's talk about CPAC, because, Diane, you're going to be at CPAC. And the Trump Tower is going to be at CPAC. Can you tell us that's the first year that's happened?
Trump Tower is a proud sponsor of CPAC. Therefore, Diane will be traveling there with CPAC. Please stop and see us at our table.
Yes.
And we are also planning on giving a $1,000 donation at CPAC to another family who $1,000 will make a huge difference in their lives.
Yes. Now you can order a Trump towel. They're $14.99, free shipping. Order one in advance if you're coming to CPAC. You'll be able to get them there, but get some for friends while you're there. Have yours ready. Everybody should have your Trump towel on you at all times anyway. So get yours. Have it ready. Have it available. Boom.
You can get it into rallies because it's not a sign.
Oh, you know what I actually loved? During the Defend Free Speech rally, when it was very sweaty and hot and the sun was beating down, I could trigger everybody with this, but I tucked my Trump towel in the back of my hat like this. My neck stayed cool, and I could trigger everybody behind me, too. You see, these are pro tips, people.
You're so resourceful.
Pro tips. Now, so I hope everybody will come down to CPAC. The president will be speaking again. I think it's the third year he's been speaking at CPAC.
Oh, certainly.
It's fantastic to come down. It's going to be a huge year at CPAC because we are in an election year. This is a great time, great place to connect with other conservatives, other Trump supporters from around the country. 3 years ago, CPAC was kind of Trumpy, Trumpier, super Trumpy. This is the year to be at CPAC. We hope we see you there. I'll be there, as I always do, delivering news, doing live streams, talking to so many great patriots in the movement, making those connections so that we can push forward in the election year, making sure we elect our president, but also take back the House, expand our reach in the Senate, take back our state legislatures. That's so important. And I know Diane will be there with me, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see some great patriots. I am waiting. I'm excited for the moment when we're standing side by side, listening to Trump, waving our town.
Couple things. 2020 is a huge year, as you know. Now, where do we start? From the evangelical.
So, folks, we've got about, let me pop in here. We've got about 10 more minutes on that interview. I didn't realize Diana we get to talking. We did get to talking. There's some great and important things. I did get the chance to share the links. Tarrio 2020, Enrique Tarrio. We'll take a look at. I just wanted to pop back in here. Just wanted to pop in and let you know the links are there. I'm going to play the rest of this interview and then we'll wrap this up. So let's see. We got a few more minutes here. I want to let Diane finish up.
For Trump when we were all in Miami and we were in prayer for a nation to put God first. And yesterday's march. I've been coming to these marches since my amazing daughter, who's 22, was 4 years old. So, we've been marching since before marching was cool. And with that being said, the president's presence at yesterday's march, phenomenal. No other president was brave enough to go there and say, life begins at conception, which, by the way, is not my opinion, it's God's opinion.
Well, and what I find fantastic about it, why has no other president, even Republican presidents, why has no president ever done that? Because they have felt that it is not politically advantageous to express that genuine opinion. Now, what I love about President Trump is he is president of pro-choice women and men, as well as pro-life women and men. He's making the country great for both opinions, but he is strong enough in his own opinion to state his opinion proudly and own it. And that is why I think so many people have identified with that. We're so excited because finally we have a president who isn't playing a political advantage game. He's sincere, and his integrity is obvious for all of us.
Well, that's why we love him as much as we do. He's an amazing president. He's an amazing person. He's not a politician that is in there. He says what he means and means what he says. And Tal weighs about 65 pounds. The banner has some miles on it. But please, 2020 is a huge year. It's also an election year. We cannot be thinking that this is a win, a landslide. Conservatives get lazy. They think, oh, everyone's going to be voting for him. This is going to be a landslide. We're not fighting other voters. We're fighting demons. We're in a spiritual war.
Yes.
A spiritual war that we have to prepare with our armor to go into.
Right.
Please.
If it's a landslide and we get Trump in office, great. And we don't take the House back, the landslide to win Trump the presidency for a second term will mean nothing. We were given a second chance to the nation in 2016. In order for us to hold on to that without having everything reversed, that this great man who God anointed this nation and blessed us with this president, it was nothing but an act of God that we were given a second chance. We will not see 2020 with a win for the conservative movement, but let's move way further than that. 2024, 2028, 2032. We love our president. Yeah.
But guess what? We have so much work to do, and we have to educate through our actions how we protect this. It's not by any chance that we've been blessed with what we've been blessed.
Well, yes, and as we've talked about, I know on the show here, especially after the Second Amendment rally, we talked about this. We're going to need to bring some of these lefties back from the brink of insanity, you guys. We're going to need to fix the country. We can't have a perpetual war with the left. This isn't working. People are losing their jobs. People can't work. People can't have normal lives. Our free speech is being destroyed. We're going to need to have a strategy to bring the country back. And that's going to mean pressuring our Democrats to come back from socialism. It's going to mean having those conversations with your independent family members, maybe your liberal family members, learning to have those dialogues again. That's what's going to bring the country back. With kindness. And facts. And a shared love of America. Dan, one of the fascinating things I found at the Women's March, particularly because we were at the March for Life yesterday, 80% of the women I talked to at the Women's March, pink pussy hat, everything, did not support late-term abortion. 80% of the women, Democrat women, pussy hat march women, did not support late-term abortion. We have an opportunity for agreement. And the two-party system, how they've kept the deep state in power is they have kept us divided and having those conversations on agreement. We need to ignore the deep state, ignore the political system that is being shoved down our throats. We need to be the political system we want to see in this country, the government buy of it for the people. And that means engaging our fellow Americans that we might not agree on with facts, with love of country, and with love of humanity. And I think that's what's going to be so important.
Well, hats off to the Democrats. They've done something that we have not been able to do in my memory, that they have, through their insanity, pulled us together, pulled conservatives together. Ronald Reagan did it. He did it well, but nothing like what the Democrats have done. I say it's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's not even independent. We're in a spiritual warfare.
Well, and I think what we're seeing both from the Democrat Party and from the never Trumping rhinos that we fought on the Republican side, we have seen what we're losing. We have seen for so long we were asleep. We didn't realize how much of the Constitution was literally vanishing before our eyes. We now see it. So many more patriots have taken up the call to run for office, to engage in politics, to engage in political activism, to engage in citizen journalism. And it is so many of those people that are going to, they give me hope. Even on the worst days, they give me hope that we do have a chance to take this country back if we do it with great patriots like my dear friend Diane.
Oh, here's that speech.
I thank you for coming into the studio. Please, Trump Towel, thetrumptowel.com. Pardon Roger Stone. We're going to be sharing all the links here at the bottom of the page and in the comments. I love this lady, and I love our country, and I love that we're going to save this country together. So thank you for
I
coming.
love you too. Thank you.
Bye.
We'll see you at CPAC.
Okay. Now we end that, and I will.
Excellent. So great to talk with Diane. So glad to have her on the show. We will be back again Monday, you guys. So much to talk about. It'll be a very, very historic day. Watching the Senate make the final vote for acquittal Monday, maybe Tuesday, we'll find out. But until then, let me play you a little bit of this here. This is a new song, you guys.
Stocks are up, inflation's way down, collusion debunked, exposing the clowns. Promises kept, some promises made. The collar is working, they're making ends meet. Illegals getting caught with taking crime off the street. The hammer's
Thank you,
down.
Chris.
We're building a wall. Let's keep America great. Keep America great.
I love dancing to these videos because it really annoys the left so much
Keep America great.
that we're excited that we love our president.
Rocket Man's quiet, it's hard to believe. Diplomacy
Love you guys.
working this
As always,
time,
this is
you
your girl
see.
Suzzanne Mom.
The red line's drawn. It's American strong.
We'll see you next time. Until then, love you guys. What's up for now?
Fake news, hard left, making up lies. In God we trust.